Hello everyone, welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game. Before we get started, I want to thank Sundar, my Simian level supporter, and if you would like to pick up any Gatewriter product, please use my affiliate link in the description. It does help support the channel. Now, what I'm going to be talking about in this video, as I mentioned in my May news update, which you can see in the corner there, if you haven't seen it already, is the erratas. So some erratas were fixed from the Japanese version, some were not. It did sort of depend, and some mistakes were made in the English version. So I'm basically going to be talking about those and just making this as a reference point, quick video. Here's what you need to know in terms of how stuff works. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and... So the post that I spoke about in the video was this errata information, and this talks about Steel Storm. So if we see here, Steel Storm, the starter deck version, as you can see there, is printed as a level 0, but it is actually a level 1, and you can see that on the main set version. So there was just a little art difference as well. The flavor text is also different, but yeah. You can see that that is a misprint, and that was caught here. I reported that like ages ago. Unfortunately, it seems like they've just missed a bunch. So now let's go ahead and go over what those are. So the first one, and sort of the most important one, is this card, which is in English, Split Second Counter-Strike. In English, it says until the end of the turn. So choose one allied unit until the end of the turn. It gains intercept. In Japanese, it says give it until the end of this battle. Now, this is a really important difference. The English version of this card is miles better. However, Japanese text does take priority. It is not until the end of the turn. It is just until the end of the battle, which is really, really significant. Obviously, it makes the card kind of doo-doo, but it's not that bad. It's just nowhere near as good. So yeah, keep that in mind. Very, very significant difference there. This card is noticeably less strong. And that's sort of the big other English one. And then there is the issue of all this sort of Kami's vessel, backpacker, space mimic stuff. So all of these received the same errata, and the reason we didn't get these in English, we actually have received all the other erratas in Japanese, so for things like Space Arthur and so on, which you can find on the Japanese website. The ones that we have not received in English were because they would the erratas were done after the production of the English set. These erratas actually happened around the time of set 2 release in Japan. So let's just talk about this effect here. Okay, you may choose one card you have in play and destroy it. If you do, choose one of your opponent's cards in play and destroy it. So that's that effect there. Similarly, on Solar System Backpacker, you can see standard action, destroy one card in play, normal summon this from your damage zone, deal 1 damage to you, and finally, Volatile Space Mimic. You can see it says, when this is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while set, deal 2 damage to the opponent. Now, all of these have received an errata, and I'll tell you the errata and then I'll explain why, because it is fairly important. So the errata that they've got for Volatile Space Mimic, it is changed to when this is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while set and placed in the graveyard, deal 2 damage to your opponent. Solar System Backpacker now says, place one card you have in play in the graveyard, or put one card you have in play into the graveyard. And Kami's Vessel says, you may choose one card you have in play and place it into the graveyard. Now, that's the errata, that's what you need to know. Why does that matter? Well, the way that that processes work in this game, they go onto this thing called the gate, and the gate is similar to the stack in Magic, or like a chain in Yu-Gi-Oh! But when something goes onto the gate, you can then respond to it and do all sorts of things. Now, in Gate Ruler, the process of destruction itself actually goes onto the gate. So what would happen, for example, is you would use Kami's Vessel, and if you choose to destroy your opponent's thing, that destruction process goes onto the gate, and they can respond to that destruction. All well and good. Now, when the shenanigans begin is when you realise that because these cards say destroy your card, the destruction of that cost actually goes onto the gate. And this is sort of an unintended consequence of the way things work, and that obviously has since been patched. And because of that, what you were able to do, and the most egregious example of this, and the reason why Red Pink Apprentice completely dominated the Japanese format, was because you could do the following, right? You could start your turn and you could drive to, and let's say you drove a zap, zap, zap. You could set that zap, 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 activate your solar system backpacker, and choose your zap, zap, zap to be destroyed. You would then, like, I believe then you would then play your backpacker as the destruction would go onto the gate. At this point, you need to, so you resolve your backpacker, and then you need to resolve the destruction of your zap, zap, zap. And at this point, because the destruction process is on the gate, you can just respond by activating your zap, zap, zap. Which is kind of ridiculous, right? So you can get your backpacker effect, but also get to activate the card you chose for destruction, which basically means backpacker costs nothing, right? It's just a card that reads, play this, take 1 damage, which would be broken, which would be totally crazy, ridiculous, way too strong, right? So that is why it received the errata, and all of these cards had that same kind of issue. Space Mimic, when it was destroyed, you could activate the ability to just ping 1 to something and then also burn 2. Obviously far less egregious than Space Mimic. And Kami's Vessel had the same thing, where you could activate the card you choose to destroy your opponent's card, giving you lots of additional advantage. Very important for Kami's Vessel. But of course, Backpacker was the main offender. So that's it. Those are the erratas you need to know about for the English format, in particular these ones. Very important that you know. Not that many of them, but yeah, very significant. I hope you guys found the video useful. If you did like the video, make sure to share it around so people like are aware. Don't play the game wrong, basically. Make sure you're, when in doubt, Japanese text takes priority. This has been confirmed from the official Japanese gate ruler source. So yeah, basically, if you're not sure, use the Japanese website, Google Translate, read what it says there, do that. Okay, that's it. I hope you guys found the video useful. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for more gate ruler content, and I will see you guys in the next one.